These are 8 things you can do to build self-esteem or rebuild your self-esteem. Now, these are things that are already done by people who have high self-esteem. And so it's one of those the egg and the hen kind of thing. Nothing comes before the other. People who have high esteem do these 8 things, and by doing these 8 things, you can also get high self-esteem. Okay, one of those tricky things. But here are the 8 things that you can do to develop high self-esteem. One is you can practice radical self-acceptance. It's very, very critical for you to practice radical self-acceptance, learning to accept yourself just as you are. So important. I have to pause here because, listen, you are the only person who belongs to you. Your children do not fully belong to you. They will go. After you raise them, they will find their way in life, and because they belong to themselves. Your husband belongs to himself. He shares himself with you. The only person who truly belongs to you is you. And if you reject you, how can the world accept you? I want you to think about that for a second. So self-acceptance is so key. You have to fully accept yourself just as you are, with your fineness and your flaws, with your strengths and your weaknesses, with your highs and your lows. Accept yourself just as you are. You do not have to do anything else to accept yourself. No prerequisite self-acceptance is what I'm talking about. No pre-requirement. You have to do this to be accepted. No, you do not have to do anything to be accepted as you are. You are what life gave you. You are the cards that life dealt you. Accept yourself as you are. Unless you accept yourself as you are, you will not be able to play those cards well. Let me say that once again. You are the cards that life dealt you. Unless you accept those cards yourself as you are, you will not be able to play the cards well. You have to accept what you are. Self-acceptance is so important. Now, I do not want you to mistake self-acceptance for self-resignation. And this is not to say that accept yourself as you are, flaws and all, and just stay that way. No. You have to accept yourself for what you are while continuing to work on who you want to be, okay? A better version of yourself. Because the truth of the matter is you can never experience transformation if you do not first accept yourself for who you are. Because self-acceptance comes from self-assessment. And knowing who you are, to be able to fully accept who you are, gives you that sense of footing or grounding. It gives you that solid ground to stand on, to be able to launch into the better version of yourself. Learn to accept yourself, okay? Your complexion, your shape, your idiosyncrasies, the way you laugh, the way you do things, your quirkiness. Accept yourself for who you are, because guess what? Your uniqueness adds to the flavor of the universe. I need you to realize that you do not have to be like everybody else. Your uniqueness adds to the multiple flavors of the universe. Accept that, embrace that. That's one of the way of adding value to the universe. So first thing is radical self-acceptance. Accept yourself for who you are, okay? Number 2, take full responsibility for your life. Number 2, take full responsibility for your life. Accept the fact that you must respond to what life brings to you. Accept the fact that you must respond to what life brings to you. No one else must respond to it. You can't blame anybody else to respond to it. You must be the one to respond to what life brings to you, the challenges, the opportunities. You are the ones. If your life will be worse or your life will be better, it's up to you. If you do not own up to that kind of thing, your life will be nothing. So self-acceptance, so taking full responsibility means accepting that particular responsibility, that it is me who have the power to make my life better or worse. I can use that power, or I can abuse that power and make my life worse, or use it and make my life better. Okay? Now, once you accepted that responsibility that it is only you that have the power to make your life better or worse, then you need to determine what abilities you need to develop in order to adequately respond to what life will throw at you, the challenges, the demand, the opportunities, and everything. When you've done that, then you can put those two together. Responsibility means responsibility. Okay? You've accepted that you must respond, and you've developed the ability to respond. You are now responsible. Okay, so responsibility, taking full responsibility of your life is simply refusing to depend on anybody else for the outcome of your life. Okay, well, I would not depend on anybody, not my mama, not my father, not my boss, not my wife, not my husband. I will depend on nobody else for the outcome of my life. I am responsible for my life. And I will develop every capability that I need to be able to respond to the challenges that life has for me, to the demand that life will bring to me. I must develop that ability to be able to respond to it. That's taking full responsibility. Before I move on, let me just talk about certain people who are still blaming their mom or their pop for something they did or did not do 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Listen, get over it. Okay? That was when you were young, you were small, you didn't have the ability to do anything for yourself. Hey, some of your parents did the best they could. Some of your parents were deadbeat. They didn't do what they needed to do. By blaming them, you're holding yourself back. You have grown now. You must not say to yourself now that I can change everything for myself now. Okay? Let me tell you one thing. The hurt of your past is not your responsibility, but your healing today is your responsibility. You cannot wait for the person who hurt you to come and heal you. You have to find healing for yourself. It's your life. They're going on and living their life. What will you do to heal yourself? What will you do to develop that skill or ability that you didn't develop because mommy didn't take you to swimming, or daddy didn't take you to the ball game? Okay, what will you do today to develop that skill that daddy didn't develop? It is your life now, not daddy's life. So it is important. That's what is required when we talk about taking responsibility of your life. Quit blaming other people. Quit looking up to other people to make things happen for you. If you don't get up and do it, it will never be done. Take responsibility for your own life. Number 3, you need to develop a planning habit. Okay? Develop the habit of planning. Develop the habit of planning. Let me tell you one thing. Taking responsibility of your life is one thing. It's responding to what life throws your way. Developing the habit of planning is a next level kind of thing. You can go from responding to designing your life. You can go to responding to life to designing the life that you want to live. And that's what planning allows you to do. Planning allows you to develop to develop the life that you desire. Not just the life that you want, not just any kind of life, but the life that you desire. Planning is so powerful. And so people who, if you will develop high self-esteem, you have to learn to develop the habit of planning. The habit of planning requires two things. It requires that you ask yourself, what do you want out of life? What do you want out of this decade? What do you want out of this year? What do you want out of this month? What do you want out of this moment? That's what the habit of planning, the first thing it demands of you. You have to be able to clearly define your vision for your life. Dream big when you do it. Okay, that question of what do you want from life also demands that you answer the question of what is my mission in life? Why did I show up here? What is my purpose in life? Why? What is the reason for me being here? If you take time and you answer that question clearly as possible, it begins to change your life. It begins to change how you feel about yourself. Because ultimately, when you answer that question, life is no longer mundane. Life is no longer wake up, get up, go to work, eat, sleep, and then that's it. It's not any boring existence anymore. Life becomes about something greater. Life becomes about something bigger. You feel connected to something significant. And because of that, it makes you feel significant. So that's the first question that planning requires that you answer. You have to answer the question of what do you want out of life? And what do you need? What do you want? That's how you create phenomenal life. Desire is how you create phenomenal life. The second question that planning requires that you answer is what do you do to achieve that thing that you want out of life? So planning is not just, just sitting down and just writing a bunch of, goals and stuff. But it comes down to strategy. It comes down to action. It comes down to habits that you have to develop to be able to take you to that dream that you dream for yourself, or that big vision that you've casted for yourself. Okay? What do you have to do to ultimately achieve that vision? Okay, now that's what planning does for you. And you can see how by doing that, like I say, it connects you to something greater than yourself, more significance for yourself. It imbues significance within you. But it also helps you to become intentional about life. So you're not just blown about by any kind of wind, but you're intentional about life because you have a clear direction that you are going in. Very important that you do that. It boosts your self-esteem when you learn to plan about this moment, this month, this year, this decade, this life. When you plan for these things, it changes your self-esteem to a higher level. And fourth thing is you need to learn to be assertive. Okay, you need to learn to be assertive. Assertiveness is the language of people who live intentionally. Okay, assertiveness is the language of people who live intentionally. By being assertive, we're saying that you're learning to communicate your desire in very effective way. You are learning to communicate your desires in very effective way. You are not being passive, that is timidly keeping your desires in your heart because you are afraid of what people will say or do. Neither are you being aggressive, fighting everyone just to get what you desire, but you form a more professional, you form a more sweet middle way of expressing it in such a way that you're clear about what it is you want, and other people's dignity remains intact as well. You are balancing courage with consideration. You are moving forward and expressing yourself with courage, but you're expressing it in such a way that you're taking other people's feeling into consideration. very mature way of conducting yourself, very mature way of communicating. But that's what people with high self-esteem do. And as you learn the skill of assertiveness, and you learn to exercise assertiveness, it boosts your self-esteem. You're no longer letting people take from you things that are yours, but you are always stepping up and asking for it as well. But you're also not going around and fighting everybody for everything, but you're stepping up and effectively communicating what it is you want, and you're able to walk away with it. Why? That person is respected in the process. Okay? Learning to be assertive will help your self-esteem. But we also want to make sure that in addition to learning to communicate in an assertive manner, that you also are learning how to keep your personal commitment to yourself. Keeping your personal commitment to yourself is really, really something really important, because nothing says self-respect than respecting yourself to do what you said you would do. If somebody who you admire really greatly asks you to show up for a meeting tomorrow, you move heaven and hell to be there. Maybe your idol, some entertainer, big time entertainer, or maybe a presidential candidate, or your mentor that on the world stage sees you one day in the street and says, "Come tomorrow, let's sit down and talk." You move heaven and hell to be there. Why? Because you have a deep sense of admiration for this person because of their achievement and because of their ability. If you can do that when other people call or when other people instruct you, why can't you do it for yourself? Why can't you respect yourself to listen to your own advice? Why can't you respect yourself to listen to your feelings? Why don't you respect yourself to follow your own instruction? Why don't you respect yourself by doing the things that you said you need to do? Keep your commitment to yourself. Okay? Of course, keeping your commitment to yourself require you being responsible in setting commitment. Okay? Keeping your commitment to yourself, being responsible in making commitments. So you're just not making frivolous commitment all over the place, a whole list of commitments, and then you can't keep any. You have to be responsible in doing so, right? Now, so another thing that number 6 on the list of things that will give you self-esteem is practicing positive social comparison. Now we talk about negative social comparison. You see other people result and it just makes you jealous or it makes you feel bad about yourself. Positive social comparison has to do with when you see other people succeeding, their success inspire within you the ability to succeed. Okay, like if that person can do it, I can do it too. Maybe there's somebody like you, maybe your age group, maybe your peers, and they're doing something you've always wanted to do. And because you see them doing it, it inspires you to be able to say that I probably can do that too. That boosts your self-efficacy. Okay. Number 7 on boosting your self-efficacy and what boosting your self-esteem is learn to encourage yourself. You got to learn to encourage yourself. The world is a very discouraging place. Your results, your conditions, people around you will always look for ways to say you cannot do it, will always look for ways to say we told you so. But you have to look yourself in the mirror every morning and say you can do it. You can make it. Keep going. You have to learn to encourage yourself in time of discouragement, because what this does is it lifts up your spirit and it gives you the ability to succeed yet another time. And little success after little success will continue to build your sense of self-efficacy. Okay? Encourage yourself. Anytime you are discouraged, find encouraging words that you will say to someone who's discouraged. Say those words to yourself. It builds you up. It lifts up your spirit and it keeps you going. And when you keep going and you keep succeeding, your sense of self-esteem is boosted. Okay? Last and not the least, you have to learn to manage your emotion. You gotta learn to manage your emotion. It's very, very important that you do that, because here's the thing: negative emotion will erode your sense of self-esteem. Okay? Always having negative emotions, just feeling very bad, feeling bad about yourself, feeling bad about life. Those kind of things will make you feel like you're not worthy. Those type of things will make you feel as though you cannot do it. And it will just make you feel overwhelmed. It reduces your sense of self-esteem. But if you learn to allow more positive and allow more positive emotions, positive emotion will boost your sense of self-esteem. Anything that positive vibes, if you learn to just allow more positive vibes and disallow negative vibes in your life, it will boost your self-esteem, because you start to, any feeling that makes you feel like, man, you can do it. That was great. You just did amazing. Any feeling that makes you feel that way, you need to encourage such feelings, because what such feelings will do is that such feelings will boost your sense of self-esteem. Okay, so those 8 things will always, if you write those things down, if you learn to kind of practice those 8 things will begin to help you develop a sense of self-respect. It will help you develop a sense of self-efficacy, and together those 2 things will boost your sense of self-esteem, and you will feel better about yourself, and that will affect your happiness. It will affect your health. It will affect your relationship. It will affect your professional life. It will affect your bank account. Listen, tell me what you feel about this video. Share it with anyone who you feel needs to hear it. Like it, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Thank you. We'll see you on the other side.